This video is on the move, the installation. I've got a little bit of video at the end actually using it. It's unbelievable. This is the best trolling motor I've ever had. You can tell I'm a little behind on these videos because here's a stool. It's done and mounted. You can see right there. But I'll take you through the installation. I'll show you the battery, the plug. There's only one thing that isn't finished here, and it's the switch for the battery. But I'm so far behind on these videos that I just wanted to get this one done. So let me flip it around. I'll give you a close-up and talk through some of the things that we considered when installing it. But I have nothing but good things to say about this. It's just incredible. It is an incredible trolling motor. So check it out. First thing we considered was making it aligned with the edge of the boat. I wanted the head right here in from the rub rail so that it doesn't run the risk of hitting anything. This is the shorter of the two models. The other thing that we considered was how far forward does this have to be in order for this assembly right here, this black part, has to come down and basically stand off from the rub rail. I only did it about 1/4 inch. I'll show it to you in a minute. But those were really the two things. And the bolts that hold this down are under here. There's 4 of them. And one of them is right about here. You'll see it in the installation because I stick the camera up under the anchor locker. And we really just got lucky. If you look right here, you can see this slight inset in the hull. This bolt is just absolutely perfectly sized to fit where it came through. Put this one in first, put the motor on the plate, and then swiveled it. You'll see me in the video to get it aligned. And I decided to align the base with the non-skid, which is right here. So it's just linear, right in line with the edge of the non-skid. That worked out perfectly. If you looked at the video on the power poles, I put the power pole foot pedals right here, foot switches, and it's just very straightforward. This quick release is not quick because I actually had to hammer it in, and I think that's because there's a little bit of a crust here in the deck, so the plate is flat, but this part is plastic and it slightly curves. So in order to get this out, I'll have to use something to hammer this back out. You can actually see it touches here and it doesn't touch over here. And here's the plate where this pin goes through. So I'm not sure what the fix is there, and I'm not actually worried about it because I don't think I'll likely take it off. I did have to put a bungee. This bungee right here actually serves 2 purposes. It, if I can get it off. Oh, it's actually, well, I'm not gonna be able to get it off because this is super locked in. But if you're going down the road, this spins. And so I put this bungee on here to make it not spin. Worked out really well. And this rattles like crazy. So when it's not on here, I just loop it through here to keep this from rattling. It's really a good program. The plug is a plug that I got off Amazon. I really didn't like any other plugs that I could find. And I'll show you why. I anticipated having to unplugging this more frequently than what I'm going to do. It's all stainless steel. It has a seal in there, and it has a twist spring. So when you reach in there to unplug it, I'll show you the plug in a minute from both sides. The battery's right in here. When you reach in to pull this out, you have to flip it to pull it out. But when you plug it in, you just plug it in and it snaps. So first, let me show you the plug. So you should be able to see it right there. So those 2 screws are the back of the breaker, and that's the plug. And when you stick this in, you just have to make sure that this Y right here, these two tabs are facing up. And then you'll hear it here in a minute. It's a little bit of a pain to reach because I wanted it up high enough where it would never get wet. But listen, that's it. That click and it's done. This will lay right in here, and I have a little tab that's going to come over here to keep this in place when you open and close the anchor locker, so you don't end up with a situation like this where you're fooling with it. My other boat has this. It works out really well. In here, let me cut it and I'll show you the battery and all that. In here is a 36 volt Abyss with the Abyss tray. The cable for the charger for the Abyss comes all the way around here. If you saw the very first video, we ran the wire all the way up here. It's a wiring harness. Actually, because it has 4 wires in it, it has your positive and negative for the charger, and then it has your 2 data cables that go to the charge. Amazing system. Anyway, right there is the back of that plug and then the breaker. I could use this breaker as a switch, but as you can see, it's really far in there. And it is a good idea to unplug this or shut it off because it is connected through GPS 24/7, and it will just drain the battery, and it has the potential to confuse the charger a little bit. So what I'm going to do is take a piece of black starboard. I'm going to mount it right here, here, and here. I'll have to unscrew it if I ever change the battery, which I will someday. And I'm going to mount the switch right here. So that way you can easily reach in here, flip the battery on and off. It'll go from the positive through the switch and then to the breaker. Be very accessible, and I won't have to reach all the way in there. So that is a future thing. Anyway, next up is the actual installing of it. Unbelievably simple, like I mentioned. And then some real life, just a quick video the first time we took it out of spot locking it or anchoring it, and just other options that we messed around with. At the end, when I'm totally done with all of the build videos, what I'll do is put together a video on everything and how it works. If you haven't subscribed to the playlist or the channel, there's a windshield going in. I have a video on mounting this GPS, mounting this door. I had this door custom made. We have a cup holder going in right here. I am going to change these out from 3 to 4. I turned this live well into a freshwater washdown. Let me show you that real quick. So I'm obsessed with having fresh water on the boat with the dogs and the kids and just the salt. If I added this, and if you plug this, here's the plug, by the way, for this. It just sits right here. Here's the plug for down here. So if you plug this and you plug this and fill this up with fresh water, this will suck fresh water into the pressure pump. I'll show you that in a minute. Actually, let me just show you the video that I shot of this whole thing working. This is filled with fresh water. Plug the overflow, plug the drain. Brand new pickup. That pickup goes right through here underneath. You can see right here, and it's not leaking. Had to shape that. I need to clean this up a little bit, but it goes right here into this Y valve. So if you turn it this way, you're sucking salt water from here. If you turn it this way, you're sucking fresh water. It goes around the battery and right up underneath, right there. That's that one. I've got a pre-filter on it in case anything falls in there so it doesn't mess up my pump. And I would switch to this because this is much less and it's a shower. But this one is the saltwater one. Look at that. It's literally like, it is the same as the hose. And you can see I'm squeezing it the whole time. Might as well water the bushes. And it doesn't really go down all that much. So you can imagine what a good shower. Wash the dogs, wash the deck, wash whatever you want with fresh water. And when you want to turn it back into a bait well, you just plug that and open that, and it'll start pumping salt water from right there. Pretty cool, huh? One other thing, JL speaker going right here, JL speaker going right here. We've got 7-inch speakers going here, we got 8-inch speakers going here, and then we'll have a 400 watt amp and a remote that'll go on that side of the dash. But most everything will be just controlled by your phone because the black box from Fusion will be mounted in here. That is coming up. That's actually the next thing. And then the last thing is a polling platform, which I'll show you a picture here real quick of what we're gonna do. Anyway, my point is, if you haven't subscribed and you're into this stuff, I've probably got about 4 or 5 more videos that I'm gonna do on this boat, and then it'll be done, and we'll have nothing to do but enjoy it. I think I made this look a little easier than it was. We agonized over this for weeks. I'd never done it before, but PowerPole makes this so easy. It's almost so easy that you're thinking, like, what am I missing? What worked for us is not using the template and just positioning the actual motor again and again until we got it exactly the way we want it, putting one screw, drilling one hole for the plate, and then pivoting the motor, as you can see here, to get it aligned exactly right. Carefully lifting it off, drilling the other 3 holes. That's the process that we took. And I think a little bit of luck was involved, especially with this front screw that I'll show you. But it worked out. We gobbed up the back of the plate with clear silicone, used plenty of it. There's no wood in this boat, so water would probably just pass through into the anchor locker, but anytime you can keep water out from under something, it's a good idea. Wiped off all the excess, had to wipe off the excess again once we tightened everything down. And here's a look at these screws. So that front right screw, you can see it's almost touching the hull. That's the one we had to lift up, put the nut and washer on, and then screw down. We gave it a go with the ratchet and deep socket, but that wasn't working out, so we switched to a open-ended wrench, and then I just used the impact driver to do most of the screwing down. This sounds dramatic, but that impact driver was set on the lowest setting. I really hate doing this because it transfers metal into the screw and potentially can cause some rust, but that's the way we did it. Once everything was screwed down, all the silicone wiped off, put the thing in place, and as I mentioned, we did have to hammer in the quick release. That thing, that actually was pretty funny. You got to be careful when you're out there. That thing will hit you in the face because it springs up pretty quickly. Here I'm wiring the plug, and I didn't shoot a lot of video of putting the abyss in place and the breaker and all that, because what you see is what you get. It's really not a lot of exciting video there. This is the first time the boat was ever in the water. She performed beautifully. It's actually a pretty rough day. Ran really smooth, and I took some video here of how the water planes under the boat. I wanted to see how far those poles were up off the water, make sure there wasn't any thing getting hung up or any weird water spray. Of course, we stopped and fished a bit, caught a nice little redfish here. And stay tuned, because at the very, very end is the actual move in motion. As I mentioned, I'll do a full video on everything on the boat and really go through the paces. But here's just a quick shot of literally just
it working.
Turn like this and like this. I almost knocked Kyle off the boat. The channel is, where's the red? The channel is right there. The red is right there. We're out of the channel. So let's try this. What happens if I just hit anchor? Oh! See what it did?
Put the brakes on hard.
Oh, look at that. It put the brakes on hard. I feel like that wasn't healthy, but... All right, so now I hit anchor, and it's supposed to just keep us here. Look at it working. Oh, it's quivering. I love it when it quivers.